Hi friends, my name is Megan and welcome to my 40th Flosstube episode. If you are new here, welcome. This is a channel that is mostly about cross stitch. However, I do share my other hobbies when I've worked on them. And today is just going to be stitching though. And if you are returning, thank you so much for coming back to spend some time with me today. I appreciate you all more than you know. Today is Monday. It is April the 10th and it is a beautiful day here in Maryland. The weather has just been lovely. I do think it's supposed to get up into the 80s this week, which I'm not quite ready for, but then it's going to cool back down. So we've had beautiful weather. I've been on spring break and I've got a lot of things to show you that I've worked on during that time. Quentin's good, Aaron's good. He has been fishing lately. He went and got his fishing license for the first time in many years, and he's been spending a lot of time out fishing, and so we've been eating fish, and that's been pretty great. I know he's really enjoying that. The animals are all good. I have a lot to show you today, so I think I just want to kind of get into it. So like I said, I've been on spring break since Wednesday of last week, and Monday and Tuesday were like professional development days. So on Monday we were in classes all day, and then Tuesday morning we had some classes, and then Tuesday afternoon I had to go out and do some shopping for a banquet that we are holding later in the month. And I met another one of my coworkers out at Michael's, and we got all the things that we needed there, and I had planned it to like kind of wrap up my day there. And so once my work day was complete, I went back into Michael's and also to Joann's and got some stuff to do some finishing. I have not really done a lot of finishing lately, and have been anxious to get some of the things out of the cabinet where I keep them and have them displayed in my home. So I finished a lot of things, and I'm gonna start with that, and then I'm probably gonna have to pause and kind of reset because space-wise I just had to make this work. So where to start? All right, we'll start with this. This is a pillow that I made. This was a embroidery pattern actually by Liz Matthews. She had some of these they weren't quite kits. It came with the pattern instructions, and then it came with this pre-printed fabric, and like on this one you embroidered here and you embroidered these leaves down here, and you attached this key. Yeah, so you did all of that, and I had this finished for a while. I think I've got two more of her embroidery patterns like this, and I turned it into a little pillow. So this little pillow, I found this fabric at Joann's, and the colors pretty much match perfectly to this. So that was my first finish. This was, I finished this with a 14 by 14 pillow form. So this will probably go up on my bed, actually. It's my first finish, and then I made a few more pillows. These are, I don't have all of the pattern information here with me, so if I can't remember like who it was by or the pattern name, I'll put something up here. But I do, I think, have these. So my next two little pillows that I made are both by Art Design. She has a Chesapeake Bay Treasures series, and this was number 1. She had these as little kits. So this came with the hand-dyed Ada, the silk floss, this little cute little pearl, and this backing fabric. So I finished this one and I filled it with walnut shells. This was the first time I'd ever used walnut shells as a filling, and I love it. This is like a little, it feels like a little bean bag. Nice. So I finished up this one, and I also finished up number 4 in the series, which was Tundra Swans. Also with the walnut shells. So this one's a little bit bigger. Again, using all of the kit materials. This was the backing fabric that came with the kit. And I have, on my Chesapeake Bay wall over there, I have a little hand that sits out, like a decorative hand, I don't know. And normally a little decoy figurine sits on it, but I think I'm going to use these like as little seasonal decorations. I have third one, or the second one in the series as well, and she has a couple more too. So cute. Those were cute and fun. Another pillow that I made. This was a pattern that I got from my friend Anne, and it was by Calico Confectionery, I believe, and it's called Bah Humbug. And so I made it into this little pillow, and this was the backing fabric I used. And no, this is not Christmassy, but you can have the spirit all year round if you want. So I didn't want to make it Christmas. I saw this fabric at Joann's and I was like, oh yeah, that's perfect for this. And I added a little bow, which I don't know if I'll keep. It's just stuck on there with a pin. And there's a little bit of black trim around, so that's cute. Now this I mostly filled with fiberfill, and then I was like, oh, I'll put some of the walnut shells down at the bottom to like help it to sit up, but then it made it kind of like lumpy a little bit. So I don't know, maybe I won't do that again, but that's okay. I think this might actually go and sit at my desk at work. The next thing that I finished was by Not Forgotten Farm. This was the Garden House Pin Tuffet, and I have this one here. This was a little kit that I got. It's like this. And I used all of the kit materials for it. And it had the template you cut out for the tuffet and for the leaf background. And this is how it turned out. Again, I just have this little bow pinned on there because I'm not sure, 100% sure about it. Either way, this I also stuffed partially with like polyfill and partially with walnut shells, but this is how it turned out. There's the backing fabric and the leaf. I did add some of this dirty face lace as a trim around it, just to kind of finish it up a little bit. But that's cute. That'll go and sit next to my my stitching spot so I can put my pins in it. Cute. What's next? Let's see. I told you that I finished a lot of things. I basically took over the dining room for 2 days and just put everything out and slowly put everything back. Next up is a pattern that was by Wild Violet Cross Stitch. I want to say it's called All Seeing Crow. And I stitched this on some 18 count linen over 2, and I think I used, did I use 3 strands or 6 strands? I don't remember. I'm not sure. But I had added some beads and some sparkly stuff, and I was really happy with how that turned out, and I made it into this little drawstring bag. I've got this fabric for the back, and that's also the fabric that I used for the lining. If I can, I will link the tutorial that I found for this. It was super easy, super fast. I probably could have put this down a little bit farther, but I was worried about my measuring skills. They're not always great. Anyways, made this cute little bag. Next was something that I had wanted to finish for a while. Back, this was like 2 years ago, I think. I finished stitching this, and the finish was a strawberry, and I'd never made a strawberry, so I reached out to the designer and I said, hey, can you help me? And they actually sent me 2 videos back then, kind of showing me how they make a strawberry out of this, and I finally was able to use the tutorial that they sent me, which was so sweet and so kind. That designer is Becky Nolan from Lucy Bean, and this is her, I'm sorry, I don't remember the name of the pattern, so it's one of them I'll have to put down here, but this is her little skeletal Santa strawberry. So you see he's got a little pumpkin there and a little candy cane, and I didn't know what to do for the top of a strawberry. I did, this was much easier to put together than I thought it would be, but I didn't really know what to do, so I just added some wool and some of this fabric and a little covered button that one of my friends sent to me. But I made a strawberry, and I was nervous about making it, so I made a like little test one as well. The wool top, I don't know my words today, and just some buttons there. So that was cute and easy, and I would like to make some more strawberries. That was fun. All right, what's next? I made 2 wall hangings. This first one was a freebie pattern that was sent out by D's 20 Stitches and Uncanny Kari in their newsletter, not this New Year, but last New Year, I think. And I want to say it's called New Year, New Moon. I could be wrong about that. But I stitched it up this year, and I made it into this little wall hanging. How cute is that? I've got this great big pattern for the back. And I'm really glad to have this one done. That turned out really cute. And I used a different, I've made a wall hanging before, and I used a different technique than the one I had used before. So again, I'll try to link the tutorial that I used down below. This was much easier than the one I had used before. So cute. That's done. And this next wall hanging, I think I stitched this pattern back in 2020. I'm not sure, but nobody in my family really likes this pattern but me. So I made it a little extra girly. And that is Gather Ye Tulips by Heartstring Samplery. There is some cat hair on this. This pattern, my family thinks is creepy. They think that the girl is a little creepy. I mean, her eyes are pretty big. But I used the same tutorial for this one, and I just added some ribbons. And this is the backing fabric. Now, one thing that the tutorial does not have you do that I did, she was doing embroidery pieces on hers, was I did add interfacing to the back of my stitching, just to give it a little more something. So cute. That will also hang up in my bedroom, I believe. All right, almost done with the finishes. This I stitched, and I can kind of count this as a finish. I mean, I finished the stitching, but I just popped it into a frame. It's not like fully finished. This is a complimentary pattern by the Prairie Schooler. It says sew, dry, set, wet. Look like this. Little kit that I had. And I just popped it into this little frame. It's not even like, wow, see? It's just really popped in there. It's not even like straight or anything. I didn't know how to finish this. I don't know that it'll stay in here, but I can put it in my windowsill for now, so that's fine. And I saved my favorite finishes for last. I was a little nervous. I watched tutorials, and I watched it again, and I watched it a third time. I made one of these before, and I just really loved these a lot, and I didn't want to ruin them, basically. I was nervous I was going to ruin them, and I didn't want to, so I just had to be confident. I'm not a professional finisher. These are handmade by me, so I just had to like give myself that grace that these are handmade by me for my own personal enjoyment. So I finished my One Homme de Neige by Collection Tralala. There's little stand-ups. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm so excited by these. So we'll start with spring. Spring. They're hippie. They're a little hippie. She's got some big hips on her. So there's spring, and this is the fabric that I chose for that one. Here is summer. In summer, I had to actually take apart once because I put the bottom on wrong, and she was like all crooked. Here's the fabric that I chose for my little summer lady. Here is winter. See the stand up. Here is the fabric I chose for winter. And lastly, here is fall. Here's the fabric I used the same fabric as on the back of that wall hanging. I did get a little bit of puckering at the bases of these, and I don't know why, but again. So here are all my snow ladies, and I love them, and I can't believe they're all done, and I could not be happier to have them out. If you remember, if you've been with me for a while, I stitched these kind of in remembrance of my mom. She loved snowmen. She would have loved these, and so now I'll be able to put them out with each season on my table and look at them and think of her. So, yep, my babies. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna pause real quick, which will be like a blink of an eye for you, and I'm gonna reset and we will get into what I have been stitching this month. Okay, 1 minute. Okay, we're back. I also wanted to mention, if you are new here, that amount of finishes is not typical for me. That is not usual content here. So I just wanted to say. Anyways, what have I been stitching on in the last month? Quite a bit. We're going to start off with my monthly projects. I'm working on 3 of them right now. And when last I filmed, I was working on my Top Knot Stitcher Shop monthly moons, and I was working on the Harvest Moon, and I'll put a picture in over here of what that will look like. I do not have a cover photo for this. These moons live in this little celestial bag that I made. And they're all being stitched on 32 count charcoal Lugana, using mostly the Claude 4 DMC. So here are the first 8. And the last one that I was working on was the Harvest Moon. It looks like this. So that one's all done. So we're getting close. Oh, that was fun to stitch. The other monthly moon project that I work on is by the Little Stitcher. This was her 13 Moons Mystery Salve from last year. I have a picture I can put in here of what they all look like completed. This is my very sad, we'll call it loved. It's a very loved cover photo. Those moons live in this little flower bag that I made. And I started and finished another one since I saw you last. Here are the first 3. The next 3. And the next 3. So this was the new one that I've added. This was also a Harvest Moon. So cute, cute, cute. The third monthly project that I have been working on is From the Heart Needle Art by Wendy, and these are her monthly Quakers. These are all being stitched on, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't say what the last one was stitched on. That's a 32 count Twilight Blue linen, I believe, using Claude 4 DMC, except for Sulky White. Back to this. Okay, From the Heart Needle Art by Wendy. These are her monthly Quakers. These are all being stitched on 22 count Ada, and I am working on September. All of these only have 3 colors. She calls for 3 colors. I think they're all Classic Color Works. I could be wrong. She offers DMC conversions as well. I am just picking 3 colors from my stash. They live in this Maryland bag. And here are the 3 colors I'm working with this month. This sulky is a little bit tight on 22 count, but it's not too bad. And here is where I am on September. I have unfortunately stalled out on this project. There's just pet hair on everything. I've stalled out on this project. I don't know. These are normally my lunchtime stitches. I get an hour for lunch, so after I eat, I like to sit and stitch during my lunch break. And I've been working on this one for a while. The other 2 go really fast. These take longer. Obviously, they're much bigger, and they, Quakers require a little bit more brain power. And so I was working on it before break, and then I brought this in during break, and I think I picked it up once, and I just can't get into it. So I don't know. I'm gonna take it with me to work this week and see how it goes. And I don't know. I might just need to take a break from it. We'll see what happens. That's okay. That is okay. So, those are all of my monthly projects. Excuse me. I had to get a fresh LaCroix while I was switching things over. Okay, quick barking break there. Anyways, those were my monthly projects that I work on. Like I said, I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep working on that September Quaker right now or maybe put it away for a little while. We will see. All right, what else have I been working on? In my last video, I had this pulled out and I was really enjoying it. This was Anna Omen 1873 by Lila Studio. Looks like this. I used this as my Stitch Asia project, which is by Abby Bella Stitch. Abby also has some great new patterns out, and I have one of them to share with you when I get to the what came in the mail portion of this video. I also use this as my stitching prompt for Stitch for Pride for the month of March. That is hosted by Dee's 20 Stitches, and Dee also has another pattern out, and I have that over here as well to show you in a little bit too. So this is Anne Omen, 1873. She lives in this Halloween bag because she does what she wants, and I'm stitching this on a piece of 36 count Ancient by Picture This Plus using this Mosaic cotton in Bilbao, which is this beautiful blue color. I love this blue. And here's where I am. So she is coming along nicely. I said last time that I wasn't sure if I was going to keep going with her. I think I had just, let me think. I think last time I'd stitched this section and I was just starting on the bird. So I've added in the bird. This 2 pages complete. There are 2 more partial pages that go at the bottom. And while I wanted to keep going on her, I did not want to get burnt out on her, so I put her away for now. I did reach my goal for the year for her, so oops, we will see when she comes back out. I love this fabric. Beautiful. All right, after I worked on her, I pulled out Blackened Sky. This is a pattern that was lent to me by a very dear friend. It's by the Primitive Needle. This is my also well-loved working copy. The original is very safe upstairs. So this is what it looks like. I plan on getting this done this year, and I'm very close to that goal. I don't think I will pull it out in April, but I will pull it out in May, and I should be able to finish it up then. This is being stitched on a piece of 36 count Old Brown. I think it's by Extra Design. And it lives in this Janet Jabber bag that I love. And it's very full with all of the floss because I am choosing my own colors. And here is where I am. So we are close, friends. We are close. Bring it in a little closer. Top 2, next 2, and then this is the block that I completed in March. So it's a little bit of extra stitching because it's got the border at the bottom. But I'm really happy with how this has turned out. I've got 1 block left. I've got all the colors picked out. This is not like a 1-to-1 conversion that I've done with this project. So I've got my colors picked out. I needed to, there's a date at the bottom, a year, and I've recharted that year, so that is ready to go. So when I pick this up next, it should be finished. Can't wait. I love this project. I was also working on this next project in my last video. I said that I wanted to finish up, or I was trying to finish up the rest of my winter whip so I could kind of start fresh in this coming winter. And I managed to do that. This is Winter Forest by Stitchy Princess on Etsy. This is so cute. I've got several of her patterns. I love this. It lived in this cute little Christmassy bag with Christmas dogs on it. I stitched it on a piece of 32 count Stratus Belfast by Color and Cotton in the called for DMC. And here is my finish. Pull it up a little closer for you. Hopefully that's all in frame. So I had already completed this half, and I was stitching on this half here. It's got that great fox and bunny. And actually my favorite thing about this is the border. There is a little deer and a little fox and a little bunny, and I think these are like little hedgehogs maybe down across the bottom. How cute is that? That is so sweet. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this now that it's done, but adorable. Really, really like that a lot. Next up, I have a new start. Excuse me. I'm trying hard not to lean on the table. It's very, the side of the table is very creaky. I don't know. Excuse me. So this was a new start. I started this on the first day of spring. There was a sampler that I had thought about starting, but I don't need to do anything. I need to enjoy my hobby, but I wasn't ready to do that. So anyways, you don't care about that. This is a chart that my friend has loaned me. So this is just another well-loved working copy. This is Sunflower House by Black Brick Design. This project is currently Bud Kitty's favorite place to lay in the entire house. So everything about it is crinkled and covered in cat hair. Yep, so she let me borrow this pattern, and it lives in this bag, and I mean, this is covered in cat hair. And in an attempt to try to at least keep my threads safe, I'm using this little project folder type thing. Yeah, to keep the threads in. I'm using all called for threads for this project. This is being stitched on a piece of 36 count granite. I think this is just a regular Zweigart color. And here is where I'm at. So I don't know what it is about this particular fabric, but it just it does not sit nicely in the Q-snap. It's like, you know how like a Witchelt or a permanent fabric is kind of almost slippery in a Q-snap? This feels that way too. I can't get the tension right. I don't know. I'm not sure what the problem is. So I've taken it out of the Q-snap, and I'm just gonna stitch it in hand. Even though I'm not crazy about how all my stitches are looking, I'm not gonna worry about it. It's gonna be cute. I'm really loving this on the gray linen. I think it really pops. That yellow really pops off of there. And this is really fun. This is the project that is currently sitting up at my Stitchy spot upstairs. I had another project that was up there for a little while, but I finished that, and I'll show you that in a minute. So that's where I am on Sunflower House. Cute. That blue is like, gorgeous. Love it. Sometime over the last month, I needed a little palette cleanser. So I pulled out this Celtic Alpha by Courtney Collection. And I started and I finished it. This only took a few hours over the course of 2 nights. It's one color, and it's just an alphabet. This lived in this pretty patchwork bag that also housed Never Enough Time by The Good Housewife. Like I said, just one color. I picked just an orange out of my stash, and I stitched this on the other half of the 35 count gray fabric that Never Enough Time was on. So here, how will I show this? Here is the finish of that. So hopefully you guys can see that all okay. This was the pattern that this fabric was originally kitted for, so I probably would have been upset with myself, knowing me, if I had put this in the center of here and had wasted all that fabric. So there is my finish of that. Now I just need 2 long skinny frames. I put up two of my, what I think of as my springtime projects. This is Dame's Boarding School by Exemplar Dames Company. I am stitching this with the called for flosses on a piece of 36 count farm eggs by Extra Design. That fabric was an exclusive to Kitten Stitcher at one point. I don't know if it's still available or not. That fabric choice was inspired by Stephanie Webb of Lindy Stitches. She also stitched this pattern on that fabric, and when I saw that on one of her videos, I had to immediately buy this pattern and buy all the floss because I already had the fabric in my stash and start it as quickly as possible. Let's see, well, it lives in this bag, but I can't show you the pretty fabric because it's the pattern over here. And this fabric actually holds two projects, so I'll show you where I got to on this one first. Well, you can see it. So I added in the second page, which was this page over here. And I believe that's the end of the alphabets. And so all that's left is the goodies. I'm stitching this one 1/2 on 36 count, which is kind of unusual for me. I normally stitch 2/2 on 36 count. That is my preferred stitching method, I guess. But yeah, this is coming along really nicely. I'm going on a trip later this month, and I'm thinking about trying to work down this. There are some houses at the bottom that might be good for fill-in. I'm not really sure what projects I want to take with me yet, but I am considering this is one of them. So this project's about halfway done. On the other half of this fabric is Jenny Bean's Gentle Spring Sampler by Shakespeare's Peddler. I've got Jenny Bean's Halloween and Christmas over here on the wall, and so I've got a place above my window where spring will fit perfectly. It does say Gentle Mothers Lead the Way on here, and I am going to change that out. So again, this is stitched on the same piece of 36 count farm eggs, and I'm actually just using a big old chunk of colors from my stash for this, and I finished up the page. So here's where I got to. Prior to me picking this up, I had already stitched the alphabet to where it is now. On the other two samplers, I left out the A and the M and the Q, and I stitched them in a different color for Megan, Erin, and Quentin. And I haven't decided what color I would like to do that in just yet. So I already had the alphabet and I had the border. There is an additional border that goes over here, but I want to be sure that I have enough floss to, I don't want to run out of that floss color before I get to that. I don't have to have that border on there. So I added in all of these cute little animals and the spool of thread and the scissors and the hand and this house. So I went to a stitch day that was hosted by a store called Hodgepodge in Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania, which I'll talk about a little bit more here in a minute. And I worked on that house there, and I got pretty decent progress while I was there. In my mind, I was going to stitch this house and that yellow house during those like 4 or 5 hours we were there. Obviously not, but I did come home that night and finish up that house. So this project is just about halfway done. And I probably won't pull it back out again this year, but next year when I do, that should be a relatively quick finish. Like I said earlier, I had another project that was up by my Stitchy spot. This was a whip that I wanted to finish, and this was Autumn Harvest by, Come Stitch by Mill Hill. Sometimes Mill Hills are nice when I'm tired, but I'm not quite ready to go to bed. What do they call it, like revenge bedtime? It's a thing. Anyways, so this was a whip that I had, and I just kind of had part of the sign done, I believe. I don't really remember. Anyways, it's done. It lived in this little animals having a party bag. I love this fabric. I made a quilt out of that fabric for my nephew, who just turned 1, by the way, somehow. I don't know how in the world that happened. His birthday party is this weekend, but we went over for pizza and cake on his birthday, and I can't, it's unbelievable that he's 1 year old. Anyways, this is my finish. There we go. So that was cute, and pretty easy. And so I'm thinking that, so you're supposed to cut it out and they provide you with a magnet, but I don't think that I'm going to finish it that way. I've got a pack of like fall related cardstock, and I might cut this out and put it, like back it with a piece of that cardstock and put it in a little frame. Cute. All right, and then finally this will be the last work in progress that I have to share with you today. And you guys, I can't even with this project. I love this project. This is Anne Woodall 1847 by Smoky Mountain Stitches. That's what she looks like. I'm stitching her on a piece of 28 count permanent linen in the colorway Smoke, using some of the Call for DMC. I was not super jazzed by the DMC conversion that was given. It's charted in a couple different flosses, and so I did have to go in and kind of like look at the cover photos and match up some other DMC colors that I liked. So this is what this looks like. It's in this cute little bag here. And just last night I finished up page 2 on this project. So she's gonna be a big girl. Like she's pretty big. This is page 2 of 6. And I love this. This was the entire verse. The verse reads, "To lasting brightness be refined, when this vain shadow flies away, the eternal beauties of the mind will last when all things else decay." And then I did put in her name. Her name was kind of like over, like at the page break, so I went ahead and put in her name. I did not put in the date because that's really on the next page. Yeah, so this is just, I don't know, this just is this is one of those projects where like you're working on it and you have to like kind of like hold it back and be like, wow, I can't believe I'm even making that because it's so beautiful. I love it on this 28 count. I think the model was stitched on 28 count to make it similar in size to the original. I think the original, it said, was done in wools maybe. And I really like how pronounced all of the, you can see there, like you can really see the X's, and I think that is just really pretty. There is one customization I accidentally made for this pattern. The entire verse is in the wrong color. Here, if you can kind of see on the cover photo, it looks like kind of a gray brown on there. And it's charted the DMC 989, no, 898. You know, it's a brown. And I accidentally picked up the 823, I think, which is this pretty dark blue. And I stitched like half of it, and then I realized what I did, and then I was obviously not going back. So, so here's where she is. She's another one that I want to keep going on, but I also don't want to get burnt out on. Her pattern is not super easy to read. It's small. It's only 6 pages. I mean, this is a big piece, and that pattern is 6 pages. So you can imagine that the pattern is kind of small and it doesn't photocopy really well. I did recently see that you can buy it as a PDF. They have an Etsy site. So if I continue to feel like I'm struggling, I might rebuy the pattern as a PDF so I can kind of blow it up or maybe print it out myself bigger. I'm not sure. Either way, I love this. I'm considering, so the grass at the bottom here is all satin stitched, like horizontal satin stitch. So I'm considering, like I said, I'm doing this in the DMC, but I might go and look at what the silks look like. They definitely suggest in the pattern using silks for the grass area, for the shine that it'll add. So I might pull the silk colors next time I go to a needlework store and see how they look to decide if I want to do the grass in that. Anyways, this is where she is. I love her. She's stunning. I can't wait to get to that big white deer. Whew. Don't want my pile to fall. All right, so that is everything that I have stitched on in the last month too. I feel like this might be kind of a longer video, so thank you guys for sticking with me. All right, I have a little bit of Stitchy kindness here to show you. Paula from our Stitch group made everybody these cute little like Easter baskets at our last meeting. This is like a little seed pod where you would start your seeds in, and she painted it and decoupaged cute little, I'm guessing these are decoupaged. Whatever. They're these cute little scenes on them. They were all different. They had a DMC bow filled with grass. This had a couple, this is, I ate the big piece of chocolate that was in there already, but I decided to share these because they were so cute. Also at that meeting, my friend Suzanne gave me a little something. I loaned her a bunch of my tombstone charts. She wants to do like a tombstone wall, which I think is super cool. She's got a beautiful inspiration photo that I also feel very inspired by. And as a little thank you, she got me this cute little tombstone angel needle minder, which is just perfect. I love this. I cannot wait to use it. And then lastly, our friend Ethel, she had this pattern, and I think she said she bought it twice. I can't remember if she bought it twice or she'd stitched it. I think she bought it twice. And so she passed it along. And this is Skeptical Gatherings by Scattered Seed Samplers. That's adorable. It's from the Little Wren Handwork series. So I love that. After stitching the other Scattered Seed Sampler for the Smalls Exchange, I really like her patterns a lot, and I'm excited to stitch that too. All right, all we have left is what came in the mail. First, I've got 2 color and cotton fabric of the month clubs to show you. This was March in a 40 count, and this is Renaissance. Pretty. I'm in her neutral club. And this one just came. This is 36 count Sandcastle. This is the April color. I'm not sure if you can really tell the difference. I'm still, in my last video I said that I got a ring light for Christmas, and I'm still working it out. So hopefully you can see the difference there. These are both really beautiful colors. This, I'm trying to kit up the seasonal girls by Birds of a Feather, and I've been looking for a linen, and this color might be a good option. It would not fit on that, but either way. So I have been doing lots of fun stitchy activities lately, and one of those things was that I went to the Woodlawn Needlework Show with some of the ladies from my stitch group, and I took some pictures, and so I'm gonna insert a bunch of the pictures in here of the amazing work that was on display. It was so inspiring. Like, I just wanted to leave there and stitch everything, just stitch all the things. And the other thing that I thought was really interesting about this needlework show was there were pieces of every skill level on every type of fabric. There, you know, it's not just cross stitch; it's all kinds of needle art and different framing, and just it made it seem much more accessible, like that you could enter into the show and do well. Anybody could enter into this. It was everybody. There was a lot of different categories. So I don't know, maybe one day Emerald will be at the show. We'll see. So we went through that, and it was, like I said, completely inspiring. Beautiful, beautiful works of art. And as we were leaving, they have a little gift shop there, and I did pick up 2 things in that gift shop. One are these cute little scissor earrings. Look how cute those are. Oh my gosh. I love these. And they also had some little kits, and a few of us got them, and I got this kit. This is Nellie Custis Miniature Wreath Kit. They had the sample stitched up there. I don't know that I would have purchased it off of this picture, but the sample that was stitched was really cute. It comes with everything. So after we left there, we went to In Stitches, which is in Alexandria. In Stitches is not typically open on Sundays, but they are open on Sundays while the Woodlawn show is going on. I had never been there before, and it was a very cute little shop, and I did pick up a couple things there. I did pick up another piece of 36 count Ancient. I want to stitch She Sights a Bird by Blackbird Designs on this fabric as well, and I'm not positive I'm going to have enough after I finish Anne, so I got another piece just in case. I also got this little thread cutter pendant. I'm going on an airplane, so I wanted to take this with me. Some 28 count needles. I got this Sir Dandy by Hands to Work. I love this from, I think this was Nashville last year. Cute. This was a new pattern. This is Birds of a Feather Needlebook by Stacy Nash Primitives. Look how pretty. That's just gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. I love that. This is not something that I maybe would have grabbed had I not seen the sample on the wall. Another reason why, if you can go into a needlework store, it's great because you would have something that could maybe grab your eye that you wouldn't necessarily have noticed before. And this is Lucy Beam Love and Stitches Disturbed Women. And they had this stitched on just a cream fabric. I'd already checked out, and my friend Anna and I were like looking at what was on the wall, and we saw this up there just on this beautiful cream color, and I had to go and pick it up and check out again. It says Evaluation Center for Disturbed Women, Ward B. So I had to get 2 more patterns while I was there. This is the Vanity Sampler by Hello from Liz Matthews. She had quite a few new releases that I really liked a lot. This one says, Youth and vigor soon will flee, blooming beauty lose its charms, all that's mortal soon will be enclosed in death's cold arms. That's gorgeous. I love that. And then of course I got Birds with Feather by Blackbird Designs. I don't have a ton of unicorn charts left out there, and this was one of them, so I was super happy to see this released. I'd like to get this kitted up and get stitching on that soon. So like I said, I did go to a stitch day at that was hosted by Hodgepodge in Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania, and they had a room at a church there, and the room was great. It was great lighting. They had various vendors set up. We had such a nice time. We had great people at our table, met new friends. It was just wonderful. It was a great day. And so we were all given a little kit that was by, again, my friend Ethel. This is her company, Stitches by Ethel, and this is the little kit. This little pattern. It's called Stitchy Bird. And it came with all of the goodies to stitch it up. That should be super fast stitch. So excited to do that. And I did visit, I guess, all of the vendors, but I only purchased from one of them. Grace Knight's fabric was there, and I wanted to get some of her fabric, but it was like kind of packed when we first got there, so I waited for the crowd to thin out a little bit, and by the time I got back up there, I don't think there was any 36 count left, so that's okay. I can always order it if I want to get something. It was nice to see her colors in person, though. They are gorgeous. But I did purchase something from Bird's Nest Stitchery. This is Margaret Cureton. That's her card. And I got this pretty little counting pin. You can see that. I'm not sure if it'll focus or not. And this cute little bird tin. Just a little, it's got velvet lining in there and a magnet. So, cute little stitching tin. So that was a great day. I've just had a lot of stitching fun recently. So that's been wonderful. All right, what else have I gotten here? I had placed another order with Farmhouse Flossies and such. She sells on her Facebook page, and she will, when she dyes her floss, she will post albums and you can purchase from there. And these 3 colors I've actually already purchased before. These are Deep Pines, Black Cat, and Sooty Santa. I love that. I placed an order with a company that was new to me. This is Stuart Moore Textiles. This is a dyer that dyes with natural plant, natural dyes. It came packaged really, really sweetly. And I got 2 pieces of their linen. This is not linen. I mean, you probably could stitch on it, but it's not really made for that. And 2 of their flosses as well. And I just couldn't take it off of this little thing. It was just so cute. So I think this is, I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know the names of the flosses, but these are, the linens are boysenberry and lavender. So they're just really pretty. I have a purple project that I want to start soon, and just trying to check out some options for that. So, what else? I placed an order with Lindy Stitches. I love how cute. And she sent along this little freebie. This is Dee's new hat. Oh my god, cute. And she was having a sale, and I had wanted this pattern for a long while, and so I finally picked it up. This is Death is a Dialogue. I love that. And then she also had this book on sale, and this, she said they were like bees, like they weren't, I don't know, they weren't up to whatever standard. I don't know what the standard could be, because this is perfect. But this is her spooky bird. Hair all over it. And I originally didn't get it because I own 2 of the patterns out of it already, but the other ones are just so cute. I love, love, love this. I already own this. And I already have that, but I love that one too. So cute, cute, cute. The next thing that I got is something that I purchased from Ukraine. Somebody was selling these on Stash Unloading maybe, and they're little beaded kits, and they were already gone by the time I saw the post. And so I just was like, well, I'm gonna try and see if I can order them. And so I ordered them, and then they sent me an email with the link to the invoice, and they actually came pretty quickly. This is by Wonderland Crafts, and these are 2 of their beaded kits. I don't want to take these out of the plastic. So it's 2 little lanterns. This is a little cardinal, and this one just has the light. I'm thinking it's Christmas gifts, and you can kind of see here, it's like a wooden piece that you bead on, and it comes with all the things. So these are pretty cool. Also on Stash Unloading, I got this pattern from my friend Kim. I saw she was selling some things, and this one I had to snatch right up. This is my talking board by the Stitching Parlor. So you make this little box, and she did send along with it the card for the floss ring and the ring and the magnet that all goes with it. She also sent a very sweet little note and some of these great little stickers from Heartstring Sam 3 to put on the back of your pieces. So it's like, upon my death, I bequeath this work of my hands to, and then put them on there. I picked up this little pattern by the Good Housewife. This is Merry Little Pin Cushion, and it is very little. I picked up this pattern by Samplers Revisited. This is House and Hound, a mid-Atlantic scene. Looks like that. and a couple pieces of fabric, just a piece of 36 count raw, and this like creamy 40 count color. Somebody was selling some silks by Mrs. Sadis, and I had not tried those before, and so I got a selection of those to try. And then, like I said earlier, Addie from Abby Bella Stitch has got a shop now where she's selling some of her patterns, and this is the first one that I have purchased from her, and this is her Filipino alphabet sampler, which is so cool. You should definitely go to her channel and check this out. It's absolutely stunning. Beautiful. And this is the pattern I was saying that Dee had released. This is trans folks always have been and will be. This is their Let's Make a Statement #2. And the first one, and now the second one. I also purchased from the Witchy Stitcher. This is Halloween Morning. I think somebody had maybe finished this recently. I don't know how I came across this, but it's not the best picture. My printer is running out of ink a little bit, so it's all right. And then I also downloaded some Patreon patterns. I participate in quite a few Patreons. This is by Mama Witch X Stitch. Ain't That Just the Way? And then here are some from the Hello from Liz Matthews. This was for You've Got the Love. And this is the newest one, which is Cottontail. I really like that one a lot. That's really cool. So, okay, I think that's everything. I know this is a long video, so if you've stayed with me till the end, I really appreciate it. I hope everybody is doing well. I'm trying to get myself ready to go back to work tomorrow after this much needed break. March was a long month, and everyone was ready for a break for sure. So just getting ready to get back to it. I gotta pack my lunches and get my clothes ready for the week and all that fun stuff. So I'm going to go and do all of that. I hope everybody has a great month, and I will see you later. Love you all. Bye.